Okay, we're back for part two of our video on bidding the Thursday night hands from June 4th RBC / the common game. And we'll jump in on boards 13. This goes to board 21. It's another marginal opener. We have a spade, a heart, 3 clubs, and a diamond as losers. That's 6. We have a surplus of 2 queens, more than aces. We count each of those as a half, so we're up to 7 losers. My high cards are in my long suits. That's good. And I actually have diamonds. So one benefit of opening a diamond, if it's kind of a little bit light, is that I actually do have king, queen, jack, 5th of diamonds. So we're going to open this a diamond. South has 5-5 shape in the 2 lowest unbid suits. One idea with this hand would be to overcall a heart and see what happens. Another idea would be to bid 2 no trump with this hand. And that's what's called the unusual 2 no trump. It shows 5-5 shape in the 2 lowest unbid suits. So if they open a club, it shows diamonds and hearts. If they open a diamond, like here, it shows clubs and hearts. If they open a major, it always shows the minors. Okay, and partner's going to know I probably have a pretty decent hand. That's one of my one of the things I'm a little bit worried about here is that I've got a really nice hand, and perhaps we could miss, say, a 4 heart game when partner holds the right hand and just doesn't know it's enough. But when we're vulnerable, we really ought to not be doing this on complete garbage. So perhaps partner will be able to bid 4 hearts when it's right anyway. And West has no desire to get into this auction. You'll notice that what West is actually interested in doing here is playing defense. Okay, there's no point, and your hand is not strong enough to introduce hearts here. That's the suit that there's 5 of on your right. You should already be thinking to yourself, how's this defense going to work? You should have no interest in playing offense with this hand. And North is 2-2 in the suits that our partner has. And we're going to go ahead and take a preference to hearts, just because probably the 2 contracts score the same number of tricks. And if the contract's making, we want to be getting 140 instead of 110. Okay. The other thing that 3 hearts accomplishes is, if West is sitting over there on a marginal hand that maybe wants to bid 3 diamonds, we're going to rob him of the capability of doing that by bidding 3 hearts. And that would be the end of this. West might be slightly tempted to double here, which would be a penalty double of 3 hearts, right? It's the only thing it can be. It can't be takeout. But we'll stick him with a pass here. If you thought about making a penalty double, I think that's definitely your head's in the right place. Balanced shapes are 4-4-3-2, 4-3-3-3, 5-3-3-2. I hope you hear that in your nightmares. 12 balanced opens their 4-card diamond suit. 1 diamond is natural and not forcing. South has a takeout double of 1 diamond. Partner, I have something resembling an opening hand. I'm short in the suit that they bid, and I have support for anything that you want to bid. And West, can already kind of see the writing on the wall as far as his opponents having a heart fit. Presumably, East doesn't have 5 hearts, okay, since the only time he'd be opening a diamond with 5 hearts is if he had some freak shape like 6 diamonds and 5 hearts, which probabilistically speaking isn't what's going on. So we can already predict that the opponents have a heart fit and some values. So what's probably going to happen if we pass a hand like this is that the opponents end up trying to play 2 hearts, and what we're going to feel like doing over that is competing to 3 diamonds. So in keeping with the idea that we want to compete to the level immediately where we're eventually going to want to compete to, we should bid 3 diamonds preemptive with this hand. Okay, and all we're trying to do is raise our partner to the number of, or to the level of the bidding commensurate with the number of trump we have. And kind of in the same idea, we're trying to make it hard for our opponents to get together. And we know they've got hearts. And we know that eventually if it came back to us and the bidding was about to die at 2 hearts, we'd want to bid 3 diamonds. So instead, bid 3 diamonds right now. And maybe you ask, why doesn't 3 diamonds show a good hand? Well, there's a couple of ways that you could show a good hand here if you had it. One of them would be redouble. And redouble would mean I have 10 plus high card points, and I tend to have a balanced hand. I have some interest in playing defense on this hand. So you don't have the right shape for that. The other good way that you could show a good hand is the times when you don't have a balanced hand. What you have is a fit for partner. And those would go into a convention called Jordan 2 no trump. So most strong players would play here. If West bid 2 no trump in this type of auction, it would say, partner, I have a solid diamond raise for you, like limit raise plus values. So if we have those ways of showing good hands, we can use 3 diamonds to accomplish this purpose of trying to bid to where we're going to be willing to risk going to anyway, right off the bat, before they figure out about their heart fit at the 1 or 2 level. I think North has enough to bid 3 hearts here with the 5th heart, right? And here the North bid wasn't forced. Like if West had passed, North would have to make a bid even with no values. So the 3 heart bid here is going to have some value, some shape, something, remember, because it's not forced. And it's at the 3 level. If we had just some nondescript hand, we could just pass and see what partner had to say on the back end. And if we had some giant hand, we could go ahead and bid 4 hearts, right? So 3 hearts is not going to be broke, but it's not enough to bid 4 hearts. And East is done, and West should probably be done also. Got a little bit more than we might have made the takeout double with. But against that, we don't have exciting shape, and we have our hard values, our aces and kings are inside the trump suit, and our soft values are on the outside. So the queen of clubs and queen of spades aren't pulling as much weight as they otherwise might be on some different auctions. Okay, the ace king of the trump suit is actually, like, that's not a great way to have our aces and kings distributed. We would rather have our soft values inside the trump suit. This is all a long-winded way of saying I'm slightly tempted, like the guy with the pitchfork shows up on my shoulder for a second and says, have we bid enough here? And then I remember it's pair scoring. We don't have to bid thin games, and I don't have exciting shape, and my black queens are of dubious value, and we're not going to hang, again, the concept of we're not going to hang partner for maybe bidding aggressively a little bit here with 3 hearts and turn our plus 140 into a minus 50. That's a disaster. So momentarily tempted and then pass. And at this point, West should never be bidding again, because she should be bidding the limit of her hand the first time around. Once they find hearts, you're done. At least they're playing, at least they were forced to do it under some pressure, and they're now playing it at the 3 level rather than at the 2 level. Okay? Don't get cute with this West hand and pass and then compete to 3 diamonds later. That's just losing illogical bridge. South has 6-3-2 with an opening hand. West has a very nice hand with support for anything other than hearts and shortness in hearts. So from that standpoint, it meets the definition of a takeout double. Here, I have a 5-card major, and I can bid at the 1 level. I'm going to go ahead and do that in preference. And maybe then if the opponent's raised to 2 hearts and it comes back to me, maybe I make a takeout double at that point. But I do want to get across the idea that I have 5 spades here rather than 4, and it's why I'm going to select a 1 spade overcall rather than the takeout double. If I had, say you switch my diamond and my spade suit, or even my club and my spade suit. That would be the hand that you want to make the takeout double with, okay? Because you've got support for everything else. And that time you don't have to worry about having a 5-card major. And this is actually pretty close to being strong enough to double and then bid spades. I don't want to do it because I've got kind of a cruddy 5-card suit here with King 10, 4, 3 deuce. But it's close to being strong enough to double first. And remember, again, when we open the bidding, not that the south hand is questionable. The south hand everybody would open, I think. But we put the opponents into places where their range is more ambiguous than if they get to open the bidding 1 spade. Again, West would open that hand 1 spade if we gave him the opportunity to do so. And at that point, his partner would have the benefit of knowing, hey, my partner's got 13 points. Whereas on this auction, for all he knows, all he's got is king, queen, jack, 6 of spades, and really that's about it. Okay, so put your opponents into situations where their ranges aren't as tightly defined is winning bridge. North should raise hearts here. She has enough to bid, and she has 4-card support for her partner's suit. One idea would be that you could just bid 2 hearts. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. Another idea would be that you could go ahead and bid 3 hearts, getting us to the level of the number of trump we have, getting us to the 9 trick level when we have 9 cards in hearts. And again, why would 3 hearts not show a good hand? Because if we had a good hand with hearts, we would Q-bid their suit. I think I'm going to just start with 2 hearts here, because for all I know, the opponents don't have a spade suit. We could just buy it for 2 hearts. The other thing is, again, I've got a balanced hand. I'm 4-4-3-2, and I'm vulnerable. So bidding 3 hearts here, vulnerable without any shape, just committing to that right off the bat, I'm not sure I want to do that. So I'll go ahead and bid 2 hearts. If you wanted to bid 3 hearts, that's certainly in the running also. And East just doesn't quite have enough to compete to 2 spades here, in my book. It's a balanced hand. It's a 4 count. The 2 of the 4, or the jack of clubs and the jack of diamonds. Basically, if you raise to 2 spades here, you're contributing 1 card to the offense. And I just don't think this is quite enough for 2 spades. I think it might be some people's style that you would go ahead and bid 2 spades with this hand, but I still want it to show 6 to 9 points, and I don't really have that. And also remember, your partner always has a bid left. Okay, so you don't have to feel compelled to bid here, because you trust your partner to do the right thing in the balancing seat. South has no reason to keep on bidding. Here's the auction we talked about earlier when we started with the 1 spade overcall. Now you can make a takeout double on the back end when the opponents find their hard fit. Okay. And if I'm North here, like, this is not exactly what I wanted to hear, and I'm not in the mood to defend 2 spades or 3 clubs or 3 diamonds with this hand. It's possible, I guess just barely possible, not really. I think I'm always going to want to bid 3 hearts eventually, so I'm going to do it now. Realize that this is in violation of the advice I gave just a minute ago, where we bid the limit of our hand in a competitive auction, and we were done with it. A couple of reasons why I bid 2 hearts with this hand was I thought there was a chance we could just buy 2 hearts. I thought there was a chance partner would bid 4 hearts and it wouldn't matter what I was doing. And I'm vulnerable. So, you know, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I thought that perhaps we would be able to buy this for 2 hearts. Whereas on the other auction, like, it was a complete pipe dream to think we could win the auction bidding, say, 2 diamonds rather than 3 diamonds. So we go ahead and take the push. This is called 3 hearts. East-west, pat on the back. At this point, you've pushed the opponents to the 3 level. You've got them off the 2 level, right? It would go pass, pass. And I mean, I guess I'm done with the West hand. I'm tempted to double again. I do have 18 points. Let's go ahead and double again. I think this is close. At this point, East would probably own up to having the 3-card support that couldn't bid earlier. And we should be done. Like West should appreciate my partner did bid 2 spades, my partner did bid 3 spades. It took me doubling back in twice to drag a 3-spade call out of her. So again, don't do something silly like throw away all your equity here by bidding 4 spades. Just play 3 spades, it'll be fine. You don't have to bid thin games at match points. West has 16 and one of our balanced shapes. 5-3-3-2 is a balanced shape. 15 to 17 and a balanced shape. Again, those balanced shapes are 5-3-3-2, 4-3-3-3, 4-4-3-2. We open a no trump. No judgment involved. And holy smokes, does East have a good hand facing a 1 no trump opener. It is 18 and a balanced hand. Again, 5-3-3-2 is balanced. So even opposite the bottom of our partner's range, which is 15, we have the required 33 points to commit to a slam, to commit to a no trump slam even. So I'm not ever stopping short of the 6th level with this hand. There are a couple of ways you could do this. I do actually have some respect for just bidding 6 no trump with this hand, but that's a little bit of an advanced point. Let's take you down an auction path where you get to give your partner a choice of either 6 spades or 6 no trump. So we're going to start with transferring to spades. Remember, when you transfer, you might have 0, you might have the rest of the deck. All you're saying is, partner, don't think about it. I just want you to bid 2 spades and wait further developments. And remember that, like I say, it could be 0. If you had a hand with 0 high card points, 6-card spade suit, maybe some shape, that hand works better. It takes more tricks in spades than it does in no trump. So when you transfer, you're not saying anything about strength. You're just saying, I have at least 5 cards in this suit, and I have a reason to believe that this might play better as a trump suit than if we didn't have a trump suit. So we're going to go ahead and bid 2 hearts. West accepts the command and bids 2 spades. And now time for something a little bit fancy. East cannot bid 4 no trump at this point, and I saw some people doing that. And if you bid 4 no trump at this point, it would be invitational. Okay, we've shown our 5 spades with hearts, but 4 no trump would be invitational to a slam. And we have insistence on a slam. So we can't bid 4 no trump, and no, it wouldn't be Blackwood. We need a way for partner to pick between 6 spades and 6 hearts. And the modern way of doing that is to bid 5 no trump. And the meaning of this is, partner, please pick a slam. And it's going to be different what's intended by that on different auctions. But here, our partner's got to appreciate that the only slams we could be, that could be on the menu, 6 spades and 6 no trump. So as West, you should appreciate, okay, my partner probably has 18 points and 5 spades, and he wants me to pick from between 5 no trump, or excuse me, 6 spades and 6 no trump. I have a doubleton spade, I pick 6 no trump. Okay, so this is a little bit advanced, but most good partnerships employ in a variety of different types of auctions this 5 no trump bid to say, based on what we've been talking about earlier in the hand, I want you to pick what you think looks right at the 6th level. And this one's a pretty easy interpretation. Notice that you don't need 5 no trump as anything else. 5 no trump can't beat a play, right? There's no reason to bid 5 no trump to play. So what most people are using it for is, partner, please pick the slam that seems right. There's no reason to open this hand in third chair. You have no reason to suggest one suit over any other. So this is not a 10-point hand that we're going to be opening light in the third chair. West applies the rule of 15, which is spade length plus high card points. If that's 15 or more, we open the bidding. If it's fewer than 15, we pass out the deal and move on with our lives. Here we have 11 high card points and 4 spades, so rule of 15 tells us we probably should open the bidding. And the reason we're opening the bidding, even though it's a marginal hand, is because we have the spade length. So we have reason to predict that if we go down a part score deal path, which we know we're signing up for, we're looking at 11, we can basically predict that everybody else around the table's got about 9 or 10 points. When that's the case, what's going to happen is we want to be able to outcompete them at the 2 level. How do we outcompete them at the 2 level? We tend to have the spade suit. Okay, so the weaker your hand, the more spades you need. The stronger the hand, the fewer spades you need, because the less likely it is to turn into a part score battle where we need to own the spade suit. So I have mixed thoughts about suggestions here. My partner actually overcalled 2 clubs, and I had no problem with that. Other than here, you can't get in too much trouble because you're a passed hand. But if we overcall 2 clubs on this hand, we'll stick with that for, I guess. Under normal circumstances, if you were a passed hand, this is not nearly enough to overcall 2 clubs. Okay, but two club overcalls ought to be really good hands. What we're compensating for if we bid 2 clubs in this auction is we have a really nice club suit, nothing else about our hand. We have the assurance that partner's not going to get carried away because we already passed with a chance to open the bidding. And we're going to preempt them out of responses like 1 heart, 1 spade, and 1 no trump. Okay, so you can make this 2 club overcall, but realize it's only because your clubs are so good relative to the rest of your hand, and it has some blocking value, and because you are already a passed hand. If for instance, right-hand opponent had opened a diamond, please don't overcall 2 clubs on a hand this week. And from here, it probably goes pass. Looking at the south hand for a second, realize this is the type of hand, if my partner had overcalled 2 clubs as a non-passed hand, I would probably want to show support in a good hand by Q-bidding 2 diamonds. But here, there's no way we have a game, right? It's impossible. My partner was a passed hand. West should make a takeout double with short clubs. And East can go ahead and bid 2 hearts here, right? I'm a little bit worried that, there's no reason that my partner couldn't have full values here, I suppose. So I'm a little bit worried that 2 hearts isn't enough. But I think there's enough warning signs here that this is a part score deal and we want to be downplaying our hand a little bit, right? Because under normal circumstances, like you might need to jump to show values here, but partner sort of already knows you have them, right? So there's less reason to do something like bidding 3 hearts. The other ball that's maybe a little bit play here is passing the double of 2 clubs. If we happen to do that, I think we're going to take club, diamond, heart, 3 spades. I think 2 clubs doubled would be down, but normally at the 2 level, and when we have a reasonable alternative, and we only got Jack 9/4 of their trump suit, we take out the double. That would probably be it. Moved on to 18. I always start these videos thinking we're going to do like 21 hands in about half an hour, and I guess there's no reason really to rush through them, particularly when we're doing a hand review. But no matter how many times I've done this, it always fascinates me the amount of stuff there is to talk about on hands that you don't even really, create that much of an impression as you're playing them. There's so much stuff going on, but it's all good stuff. So yeah, never getting through 21 hands in 25 minutes with any sort of reasonable commentary on what's going on. South opens a club. They have 15, 17, 18 points, a 6-card suit. West overcalls it diamond. We don't want to make the takeout double with only 2 spades, but we do have a pretty decent hand and a decent suit, so we can show that by betting a diamond. Goes pass. I think East should probably mention spades here. East has a not unreasonable hand. They do have 9 cards in the majors. Also, if we bid 1 spade here, partner's never going to get carried away because we already passed his dealer. Okay, so partner's not going to think it's in the running for us to have like 15 or 16 points. This issue of whether, like when we're the overcalling team, whether our new suits are forcing or not is kind of an interesting one to think about and talk about with your partner. I would play that 1 spade here would be forcing for 1 round if it weren't for the fact that I was already a passed hand. Okay, so I'm bidding 1 spade here as probably 5 spades and not a hopeless hand, i.e. constructive. But remember that I passed as dealer, so I don't have an opening hand. South, I'm pretty tempted to keep on bidding here. I think I'll just go ahead and bid 2 clubs. There's not going to be a game on this hand. West has bid his hand. North has bid her hand. And I think East should probably make a takeout double here. She does have backup support for diamonds, and she has 4 cards in hearts. So let's see if we can get that suit in the picture. Tempted to bid 3 clubs with the South hand because I sort of know that they've got hearts, and I'm going to want to bid it anyway later on. So take one more bite at this. Realize that even though the South hand is 9, 11, 15, 18 points, and has nice shape and a nice club suit, like there's not necessarily any safety in bidding 3 clubs here, particularly when you're vulnerable. This hand, which started off so promising, definitely the warning sirens ought to be going off a little bit here. It's not enough to talk me out of bidding 3 clubs because I'm going to want to bid it eventually anyway, but realize that this is not foolproof. Okay, that 18-point hand has now got a bunch of whistles around it, or warning signs, whatever you want to call them. And I think we're probably going to just end the auction here. Okay, we get clubs to break 2-2. We end up having an entry to the dummy, 2 entries to the dummy, the Queen of Diamonds and the Jack of Clubs. So we're actually going to be able to take 2 spade finesses, and we're going to make like 5 clubs on this hand. But that's awfully, awfully lucky, and we didn't need to be buying. It turns out we bought 2 tricks in the dummy. That certainly didn't have to be the case. If you make 5 clubs on a hand like this, please don't start with the, how do we bid it? How do we bid it? It's insanely lucky that you can make 5 clubs on this hand. Make sure that you actually can make 5 clubs. Yes. So all I did was turn my double dummy on to make sure I wasn't saying something completely out of line. And you'll notice that all of West's leads have a green 2 by them, which means they all lead to 2 over tricks in the contract that West is leading to. By the way, it is one of my fears that I'm just going to say a bunch of stuff that's completely out of bounds here. I don't really think that, but also keep in mind with these videos, like I'm just trying to keep you in the fairway as far as these bids and some things I would be thinking about. I'm certainly not like super expert level bridge player, bridge thinker. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. Okay, so I'm not going back and editing these. I'm not looking at the hands beforehand. I'm intentionally kind of trying to give you some stream of consciousness stuff. Okay, so if you find a hand, you said you can make 5 clubs on board. You actually, on a double dummy squeeze, reverse, blah blah blah. Like, don't do that to me. I'm not interested in that. Okay, South has a balanced 11 count. It's almost like we have these questions about whether to open the bidding or not on like every single hand. Here, balanced 11 is something I said that I would sometimes open and sometimes not. Remember, 4-4-3-2 shape is balanced. The other balanced shapes are 4-3-3-3 and 5-3-3-2. I said I would look at my 10s and 9s. I sort of have those. I said I would look at my vulnerability. That's in favor. Like, that's almost enough for me to go ahead and open the bidding here. I do have 2 aces and a king, so I've got 2.5 quick tricks. I think I've got enough for me. I'm convinced. I'm opening a diamond here. Again, it's close. West can overcall a spade. If we think back about the hands previous in these in the review, sometimes they were overcalling spades on 17 and 18 points. And again, trying to hammer home that point. When we open the bidding, we put them in spots where they might be taking a certain action on 6 points and they might have 18. If we can put that sort of doubt in their partner's mind, that's just very high level. That's got to be a good thing for us to sow discord or ambiguity into what their language means. North doubles. This is a takeout double, a negative double. It is for the unbid suits with a definite emphasis on the heart suit. So what we're promising is at least 4 hearts and at least like 7 or 8 points. Yep. You can almost think of this as a surrogate 1 heart bid. So the double is kind of saying the same things that a 1 heart response to 1 diamond would say here. The one hand type that we can take out of North's range that would have bid 1 heart, had it gone a diamond pass, is we know that the combination of 5-card heart length and 10 plus points doesn't exist, because if North had that, she could bid 2 hearts. Okay, she's failing one or both of those 2 litmus tests. Oh, East can go ahead and bid 1 no trump here, I think. We've got stoppers in their suits, and we have 10 points. No reason not to bid 1 no. South has nothing left to say and no heart fit for partner. Take advantage of your opportunity to use the pass card to say, I've already described everything there is to describe about my hand. West follows the same logic and passes. I think North follows the same logic and passes. We play 1 no trump. Pass. Look at this. We have a balanced hand with 13. Balanced. 5-3-3-2. Other balanced shapes. 4-4-3-2, 4-3-3. Balanced hands with 13 points open the longer minor. So a diamond here. South has a hand that would have opened the bidding, okay, with a diamond if it had gone pass, pass, pass. But here we have nothing convenient to say. We can't double because we don't have the heart suit. We don't have our own 5-card suit to overcall with. We're not strong enough to bid 1 no trump. So when we fail all those tests, we pass. Please don't think of passing in an overcalling situation as denying opening hand strength. You might have opening hand strength. You actually do here, but there's nothing else that fits. So we're going to be passing with some very good hands. Not very good hands, good hands, and this is one of them. West bids a heart, natural, not forcing, and the only reason it's not forcing is because we passed earlier in the auction. Okay, so new suits by responder are forcing, except where they are previously limited. And here we are previously limited by our failure to open the bidding. North could get frisky and throw in a 1 spade bid here. It's a flat hand. It's vulnerable. Against that, we have a pretty nice suit that we want led. We'll go ahead and chip in a 1 spade bid here. And East can, if you are using support doubles, or if you just think about it logically, like double here should be, I have 3 cards in your suit. It's a takeout double. Okay, so takeout double of spades, what's it mean? I'm keeping diamonds, hearts, and clubs in play. If I had 4 of my own hearts, I would just raise hearts. I wouldn't keep the other suits in play. So when I bother to keep hearts in play, the clear implication is that I have 3 of them, exactly. If I had 4 of them, I would have raised hearts. If I had 5 of them, I would have opened the bidding with 1 heart. Okay, so South has a good hand with support for partner. What do we do when we have a good hand with support for partner? We Q-bid the opponent's suits. So here, what the opponents have hearts, so certainly a 2-heart bid would be, partner, I have support for your suit and a very nice hand. And a very nice hand here in context has to be pretty good, because like our partner's a passed hand that overcalled 1 spade. So Q-bid the opponent's suit to show a good hand with support for their suit. North's kind of just like, no, man, I was just joking. And everyone's done. Yeah. And this is one of those times where we are letting them play at the 2 level when they want to. The problem is we know that there's, as East-West, we know there's exactly 8 hearts. So it's maybe not the best idea to be bidding at the 3 level with 8 hearts. And we know that, like, we're not super fitting in diamonds or clubs. Our partner probably doesn't have as many as 6 diamonds and probably not as many as 5 clubs. It doesn't look like we have a 9-card fit. And unfortunately, this is one of those times where we're just going to have to sell out and hope to take our tricks on defense, okay? Because bidding at the 3 level is just asking to get doubled and go down 200. North has a nice hand with 6 spades and 4 hearts. You open the hand of spade. East does not have enough to overcall 2 clubs. Okay, this is just not enough hand. If we wanted to get into like the tactical value of 2 clubs, you know, you could maybe argue for making the 2 club bid a little bit in that sense, and we do have a decent club suit. Like, it's probably what we want led. But against that, we're selling the idea that we have a much better hand than this. We're selling the idea that we're interested in the game. We're probably not. And also notice that, back to that idea of the tactical value, if we overcall 1 diamond with 2 clubs, say, there's much more argument, tactically speaking, for doing that, because what you're doing is robbing responder of a 1-heart bid or a 1 spade bid. Here, when our right-hand opponent has opened a spade, we aren't robbing as many bids. Also, there's less for our opponents to untangle as far as what they hold, because the 1 spade bid is much more defined than the 1 diamond bid. In other words, the 1 spade bid shows 5 spades. The 1 diamond bid could kind of be a catch-all on a lot of different types of hands, which means that North-South still has more to work out as far as what their hands look like. 1 spade bid has less reason to tactically be overcalled because they know more about an important suit, and we're stealing less room from them by bidding 2 clubs. So I think on all counts, just pass this hand. Please have the discipline to pass some good hands. South has enough to bid 2 spades here. It's only a 4 count, but you do have a singleton. I would go ahead and bid 2 spades. And nominally what you're saying is 6 to 9 points, 3 trumps. Okay. West has a pretty good hand that is short in spades. We don't want to let the opponents play 2 spades. We have enough hand to think that if we pass here, it might very well go pass. And enough hand to think that it's less likely that they're going to be bidding game here. So what I'm coming around to is it might be West's responsibility to compete here. And we don't want to compete with double because we only have a doubleton heart. We don't want to compete with 3 clubs because that would be putting all our eggs in the club basket when the diamond basket might be right. So what we should use 2 no trump as here is take out for the minors. Okay. North can go ahead and compete to 3 spades. This is not invitational. It's not constructive. It is simply going ahead and competing to 3 spades because we know we're going to want to do that eventually on the merits of our having a 9-card trump fit, and we don't want East to get a chance to bid, and then on the back end we bid 3 spades. Don't let your opponents do things like that. If you're going to always be bidding 3 spades, do it immediately. Okay. What would we do if, you know, we wanted to invite a game here and we were North? We would do something like doubling followed by spades could maybe be a way to express that we thought there might be a game. The other idea is they have shown 2 specific suits here, clubs and diamonds. Maybe there's some idea that we could bid one of those suits as a way to express to partner that we're thinking about maybe bidding 4 spades. And when we just bid 3 spades, this is not suggestive, not constructive, not trying to get to 4 spades. It's just competing, competitive. This does not invite South back into the auction. And East at this point has a nice fit for partner, right? What's going on? Partner seems to have like at least 9 cards in the minors and is short in spades and is probably relatively short in hearts because she didn't make a takeout double rather than bidding 2 no trump. I'm very, very tempted to bid here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and bid 4 clubs. What if the opponents bid? I mean, the opponents probably shouldn't be bidding 4 spades after that. But if they did, maybe I would double at that point. I've already expressed that I have a bunch of clubs. So I think I'm bidding 4 clubs. And again, as West here, like, don't hang your partner and do something silly like bid 5 clubs. Just let it go. I think everyone's probably done with this auction. And we get to 4 clubs. So this concludes the Thursday night hand review. We played 21 boards. Again, the attendance was awesome. 11 pairs in the 0 to 100, 32 pairs in the open. Congratulations on everybody being together and coming out and playing a bunch of bridge together. That's super. I feel like I'm a part of a nice community here. Yeah, that's it for this video. So I'll be dropping these 2 today and 1 more video on a declare play hand from last night. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time.